What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoba, No Days Off DFS, here to bring you the NBA slate breakdown for the 6-game NBA slate. Hopefully, you guys had a good weekend and you guys were able to catch some of the content I put up over on the Patreon and you guys cash out. So, hopefully, we keep that rolling. It's a new week. We're in February. Um, Hoping to keep the good times rolling. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit the like button if you guys do enjoy this content and enjoy any of the other stuff I put out. And subscribe to the channel so you guys don't miss anything that I do upload. Like I said, we got a pretty nice, decent sized 6-game slate. Over the weekend, of course, same old craziness in the NBA. Players putting up some pretty great numbers, things like that. And hopefully today can continue with that. So we got the Sacramento Kings taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. No news over here for the Kings. Sabonis and Fox, they look like they took turns over the weekend in regards to who wanted to go off. Hopefully we can keep that rolling into today. And over on the Cavs side, they have gotten back Darius Garland. They got back Evan Mobley. Both of them, their minutes are slowly ticking up. They're playing right around 23, 24 minutes. Maybe today we could see them hit that 28, close to 30-minute threshold, but I doubt that we'll see that until after the All-Star break, more than likely. Dallas taking on Philly. Luka, game time decision. Kyrie Irving, game time decision as well. Kyrie hasn't played the last couple of games, but hopefully he's actually back. And over on Dallas side, they are without Derek Lively, so we will see a mixing pot at the center position. Maxi Keebler and some of the other guys that they got down there. Do not play Rashawn Holmes because he is literally like just the last resort. They're not going to play him. Over on Philly side, we got the news that Joel Embiid, he has a torn meniscus, so he's going to be out for quite some time. Tobias Harris, who's dealing with illness, but I want to say he participated in shoot-around yesterday, so he should be back today. And then, of course, we got Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre, Daniel House. All those guys are good to go. They are dealing with quite a bit of people out over here on the Philly side, but they should have enough players that we can definitely might be able to focus on, especially in this game. Should be one of those primetime matchup games. I'm pretty sure this is probably the game that's going to be on like ESPN or something tonight. Then we got the Lakers going up against Charlotte. LeBron James and Anthony Davis, both game time decisions. If they play, they're both really, of course, in a smash spot. LaMelo Ball still questionable for Hornets with that ankle. And then Cody Martin, he's a game time decision as well. Clippers, they played yesterday. James Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, all of them played. No issues there. Paul George, he's still on his minute limitation type thing. Going up against the Hawks, Sadiq Bey, only one that's a game time decision. DeAndre Hunter, even if he's back, he's going to be playing limited minutes because they're rolling him out slowly. Biggest thing is Clint Capella is out, so we already know what time it is. It's the Aneka Okongwu time. Golden State Warriors, really no true. Oh, I guess this is news. Andrew Wiggins, he started last game, didn't look right, did not come back out for the second half of the game, which wish would have got that news way before lock or anything like that. Don't know why he even tried to play the game. But Andrew Wiggins is expected to be out. Chris Paul saw, Gary Payton's out. Darius Saric game time decision. Everyone else are good to go. And it looks like this might be their starting lineup that they roll out with. I will say Jonathan Kuminga has played amazing over his last couple of games and looks pretty good. Definitely this should be a pretty good matchup, especially for Steph Curry, who has been going off. If you guys watch what he did in OT, I think it was double OT. Dude lit it up and still lost. Brooklyn Nets, Spencer Dinwiddie, Cam Thomas, Mikal Bridges, Johnson, Nick Claxton. Really no news over here for them except for that Dorian Finney-Smith's out, Dustin Sharp's out, and Ben Simmons, he will not be playing on today's game. Toronto Raptors, they lost to my Thunder in double. So this is news right here. Toronto is coming off of a double OT game yesterday in OKC. Had to leave that game and fly down to the Pelicans. So we might have some tired legs here for the Raptors. We might see maybe some more run from their bench players, something like that. But they are coming off of a double OT game yesterday and an L and traveled to New Orleans. I don't think it's too far from Oklahoma, but still, keep that in mind when you're looking at your Raptor players. And over here on the Pelican side, Zion, game time decision. Herb Jones, game time decision. We've seen this literally over the last couple games. But that is your injury report. Going over to DraftKings, the site that'll play the most on the site. If you guys don't got an account, you want one, check the link down in the description below so you guys get that deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on the King. Truly, anybody that watches these videos, do you guys play on FanDuel? Because I have not played FanDuel at all this NBA season. I know a lot of the stuff that I say, it can be used over there on FanDuel as well, but I am very much DraftKings eccentric. Like, this is literally the site that I focus on a lot, a site that I've had a lot of success on. I used to play on FanDuel, but I don't like I want to say I stopped playing whenever they changed the roster construction, things like that. And then plus just the bonuses and everything you get over here on DraftKings, I do like it better. It seems like normally cash days is about a 285 to 290. Normally will get you into cash, especially in single entry contests. And then the 300s, you're pretty much you're golden. You're gonna cash if you're hitting 300s. And it doesn't to me it doesn't take as crazy of a score. I know on FanDuel it was like 400, 450 would be needed to score on some crazy behind nights. So yeah, what sites do you guys actually play on? Because I put a lot of content out here for DraftKings, so hopefully you guys actually do use the same stuff that I'm using. All right, Lakers taking on Charlotte. Of course, looking over here from the Lakers side, we know that Vando is going to be out, and the Lakers are somewhat running a tightish rotation with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, D'Lo, Austin Reeves, Rui, Torian Prince. They're sprinkling some minutes in there for Jackson Hayes, Christian Woods. He's lucky if he's getting off the bench like that. And then outside of that, it's just these starters that carry the heavy load for this team. Now, looking at them, as long as LeBron James and Anthony Davis is in, I do like AD, of course. $100, well, not 100, yeah, $100 difference in regards between him and LeBron James. But center position, we've attacked that time and time again going up against Charlotte. Smash spot for Anthony Davis. I do love the upside that he has here. If these guys were to be out, then of course, if they're going to slide in Jackson Hayes, who looks like he has found his way into the rotation. I know these were starts that he was able to get right here. And then of course, he was actually able to scrounge up 12 minutes in that last game going up against New York Knicks. If they're still going to, not even if, I do believe that Jackson Hayes has solidified himself into the rotation and will still play minutes, especially with Vando not being there to back up in regards to some of the small ball center role that the Lakers were liking to run. So I do like Hayes as a value piece that you can actually get right here. Christian Wood would just be like more of a GPP option, and I wouldn't really have too much interest in Christian Wood unless Anthony Davis was out or something like that. But outside of that, if these guys are going to be in, then Anthony Davis, he's going to be my favorite one between the two. And I'll say between D'Lo and Austin Reeves, of course, you can go with the cheaper of the two. Between here, Austin, he's popped off over his last 3 games, 41, 42, 45 fantasy points. And this matchup going up against the Charlotte Hornets should be another easy matchup for him here to keep the good times rolling. Now, if you want to go GPP wise, D'Lo is going to be your player. You're going to play over Austin. Cash safe right now is going to be Austin Reeves. Looks like he's in a rhythm and a flow, and DVP metric does grade up pretty well for Austin. LaMelo Ball, if he's back, I'm pretty sure he would be on a minutes limit, if anything. So wouldn't go to him. Prop wise, if you're looking for something for Melo, take his turnovers. Normally they put it out like a 2.5 or maybe a 3.5. Wouldn't mind taking the over on that because Melo very much turnover prone. And Lakers, they could play some decent defense and they could be scroungy out there. But if Melo's going to be out, I know the Charlotte Hornets, they're coming off of a game last night. They did play going up against Indy. But Brandon Miller, kid is back to balling. 52 fantasy points yesterday in 38 minutes going up against the Indiana Pacers. I understand, different team, but 3 balls falling for him. He's getting involved out there, playing a little bit of defense, and he's scoring at a pretty high clip. Between him and Miles Bridges, they are the two that are really carrying this team without LaMelo being out there. If Melo's going to be out, I do have some interest in Brandon Miller. I will have to have some interest in Miles Bridges as well. I know yesterday was not the greatest game for him. 38 minutes, dropped 32.5 fantasy points, but when you look at it before this game going up against Indy and OKC, the Chicago Bulls 68, New York Knickerbockers 49, Utah 50. Still decent matchup. We know he can get up and down the court, and he is rumored to be in some trade talks possibly to go to the Lakers. So I do like the upside for Miles Bridges. He is not a must at all, but the upside is definitely there for him if you're looking at getting some type of piece to run back from the Charlotte side and what should be a pretty fast-paced back-and-forth type game for them. Dallas taking on Philly. If Luka's in, of course, we already know this time and time again. He's playing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Upside for Luka is through the roof. Pretty much he solidifies and anchors your cash games if you're going to play. Kyrie, if he is not on a minutes limit and he's going to be able to play and he's fine and good to go and whatnot, I really don't mind playing for Kyrie. He has the same upside as Luka, but just a lower floor. I'll give him like a 50-ish to 45 to 50 fantasy point type game at 8,500. As you can see, looking at his price, Kyrie was up there in his price before he got injured. Love the upside for Kyrie, long as he is good to go, no minute limit. If he's on a minute limit, I'm not going to mess with Kyrie. Now, outside of Kyrie, off the bench, your GPP options will be Tim Hardaway Jr. We do know Tim, he can come in, he can get hot, knock it down, so on and so forth, but GPP only, not really prioritizing him at all. Between Hardy and Green looks like he's actually been starting over the last couple games, playing some pretty decent minutes. Upside for him is there as well, 4,900. That's your value play right here you can get from the Dallas side if you're not going to play one of the 2 main guys in Luka or Kyrie Irving. With with Lively being out, Maxi Kilber being a game time decision, I would imagine, this is just my imagination, that they're going to go ahead and start Dwight Powell like they've done time and time again. He should go ahead and get that run at the center position, not messing with it at all whatsoever. I really don't like the upside by any means, like literally none. But if Rashawn Holmes, for whatever reason, if they actually give this kid the start or just let him play, Rashawn Holmes not a bad fantasy point per minute producer. If he was to play, I do like the upside for Rashawn out there if he was to actually play. Over here on the Philly side, pretty much is cut and dry. Without Joel Embiid out there, a lot of the usage and everything goes to Tyrese Maxey. He should continue to dominate the ball usage and everything. The upside is there, 9-1. Don't hate it, don't mind it at all. Opposing point guards have actually done pretty well going up against the Dallas Mavericks. They play lackluster defense out there. And Maxey, with just the shot attempts and the usage that he has, is really great. If Tobias Harris is out, that just solidifies and boosts Tyrese Maxey as well. But if Toby is actually going to be back without Embiid, he does end up having to be that second fiddle out there to Tyrese Maxey. And the upside for him is actually pretty great, especially at that small forward, power forward position. I wouldn't mind just getting down here just Tobias Harris over Tyrese Maxey. As long as he's good to go, no minute limit again. Of course, another questionable tag that we have to pay attention to. Kelly Oubre, that's your GPP option. Not really too pressed to get Kelly Oubre. Paul Reed, I have no interest in Paul Reed. I do think this is another game he can get himself into foul trouble, or they just don't play him the minutes. He is strictly straight GPP, but at 6'2", hell no, I'm not playing no Paul Reed. That is just ridiculous of a price for Paul Reed. Off the bench, you can mess with Patrick Beverley. As we've seen, without Melton, he's been getting minutes, and Pat Bev's been producing. Now, at 5'6", that is a bit steep, but I wouldn't hate if I landed there as a play. It's a possibility, but not something that's like, yo, I got to play Patrick Beverley. Mo Bamba would be the GPP option that I really do like off the bench. Paul Reed gets himself into foul trouble, things like that. Mo Bamba, he goes out there, he gets to play his minutes. He's a good fantasy point per minute producer when he is out there. We know he can try to knock down some threes, but the block upside that he brings, the rebounding in, I know he can actually score pretty decently. I would take a chance on Mo Bamba, and Dallas, they've been giving up some pretty decent fantasy point games to backup centers as they come into the game. Outside of that, unless they do run small, maybe then you can look at your Marcus Morris Sr. or your Daniel House down here. But all these other guys, not too worried about them. They don't get enough usage or minutes or playing time for me to even consider going to them. All right, over here to the Sacramento Kings side. For them, really, hopefully you guys got Malik Monk in that last game. I said that this price was way too cheap, and he was a part of my core in the last game that they played against the Bulls, and went out there and dominated. 34 minutes to drop 41.25 fantasy points, back-to-back 40-point games. I'm not looking forward to him again right now at that 5-4 price tag going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't mind him, but he's not a priority for me to actually get to on the slate at all. Over here, especially over here on the King side. For them, really, it would just be some bonus if I do take anything outside of that. Fox, not too interested. Keegan, this definitely could be a bounce back game for him to go out here and light it back up like what he has done in the past. But the upside is there, but not a must by anything. Trey Lyles, that's going to be your GPP option off the bench for them, but not too interested in too much over here for the Kings. On the Cavs side, I do have a lot of interest in Donovan Mitchell. 9-7, been balling out even with Garland being back out there. Went out there and literally crushed my hopes on a nice game sack that we had with them in the San Antonio Spurs. Just needed him to just sit down, just chill. Just stop trying to score. Like he always does this. He could have got ejected so much sooner. But would have smacked the 6-6 slip that I had posted on Twitter. But of course, Donovan, he killed me. He killed me. But anyway, Donovan Mitchell, upside definitely going to be there. Fast-paced game, back and forth, weak against the guard position. Do like the upside for Donovan Mitchell here. Jared Allen, GPP option, not too heavy on him today. Don't feel like this is the matchup for him. Opposing centers going up against the bonus. It's been so in regards to what they actually can put up. I'm not going to say he's a bad option at the center position, but not anyone that I am too heavy on. Garland, unfortunately, with his minutes limit, I don't like it, especially because it seems like, of course, the ball is in Donovan Mitchell's hands and the upside is higher for Donovan Mitchell right now. But I do like what I seen from Evan Mobley in that last game. The dude, not even just on fire, but his usage while he was out there was sky high. In those 24 minutes, the ball was finding him consistently. He was very engaged on defensive side, very engaged, rebounding everything. And I love him here in the spot at 6'8". I do feel like he can build on what he did last time. The price is going to climb up on him. He's going to get back into that 7.75, close to 8K range as his minute limit continues to like level off. But Evan Mobley, 6'8", I really do like the upside for him here, and I do like him as a part of my player pool for the day. Outside of that, Levert, Struz, Okoro, all these guys, all GPP options. None of them are going to get enough minutes or rotation time for me. Okoro would be the only one I would take a GPP chance on just because he's going to play off the bench 20 plus minutes. Outside of that, not going to mess with too much over there. Clippers, like I said, back in the back-to-back. Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Paul George. We got Zubac back last game. Not too interested in Zubac. He needs to knock off the dust and get himself back in game shape. Russell Westbrook, with Zubac being back, he's priced up too high for what he can actually go out there and produce. I would like to see Russ come back down close to that 5K range. But the upside definitely could be there, especially on the back end of a back-to-back form. GPP option, not anything that sticks out to me. Paul George, just simply because he is still so on his minutes limit, not going to go there for Paul George. I will stick between James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. Harden, last game, went out there, balled, had a great game. 21 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds. He's going to go out here and he's going to dud like hell. Kawhi Leonard, primary play that I want to get to from the Clippers, has looked really great over the last several games and still is playing on his back-to-backs and no minute limit for him. I do like the upside for Kawhi Leonard, especially power forwards and small forwards. I've done pretty well going up against the Atlanta Hawks. On the other side for the Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young, I do like him. The upside is definitely going to be there for him. Going up against James Harden defense, don't mind it at all. Terry Rozier was able to go out there, dish the rock, and put up a decent score going up against James Harden and that defense that they put out there. I don't think that Trae's going to have to deal too much with a Paul George out there. But definitely GPP option. DeJounte Murray on the other side. You can mess with this if you want to get the savings and come down to DeJounte. That is definitely in the realm. Now, with Clint Capella being out, I do like the upside for Neko Okongwu, Zubac. I'm not scared of that defense at all whatsoever. As you can see, Okongwu, he gets minutes. He produces in those minutes. 16 rebounds, 2 blocks, 22 points. I'm going to go right back to that as well. Very athletic. As long as he keeps himself out of foul trouble, the upside should definitely be there at 5'1". That's border tier value right there, especially for a starting center that we know doesn't. Who's backing up Okongwu? Who's going to take those minutes from Okongwu? Like, seriously. Who over here? Fernando? No. Are they going to run small? They can. They possibly could. Maybe you put Johnson at the center position. We can see Johnson's rebounds probably go up in this spot. Maybe this could be a decent for him. But Okongwu 5'1", that's kind of a no-brainer right there, honestly, all day for me. Golden State Warriors taking on the Brooklyn Nets. Steph Curry, this is my stud of the day. He is the cover photo, as you can see. Main guy I want to get to, Curry has been playing not even pretty good, has been playing amazing over his last couple of games. 79, 39, 61, 64, 47. The scoring is there. Playmaking is there with no Chris Paul, no Moody, and all those guys backing him up. He's having to carry the load for this team. He's trying. He really is. That loss in double overtime, ridiculous. Really sad. But Steph Curry, love the upside for him here. Kuminga, that price has slowly been ticking up for him, but rightfully so. The kid's been balling. 44, 46, 36, 43 fantasy points on those last couple games. If you think that the Nets can keep this close, which they should be able to, they're playing at home. The upside is definitely there for Kuminga, but not someone that I'm too heavy on. I really do like Steph Curry, especially with the other Splash Brother just looking like a shell of himself and not playing too hot at all whatsoever out there. I love the upside for Steph Curry here. Really is my primary stud I want to get to. If they're gonna actually start Pod over the fact of like Saric or anything like that, Pod, he's your value play you can get to. He's pretty much in the same tier as Kuminga in regards to what he's going out there doing, because for a little guy, he's out there, he's rebounding. He is playmaking along with Steph Curry out there, and he's also a very good scorer as well. The upside for Pod, do love that for him. And if I'm choosing between Kuminga, Pod, if Pod starts, I will take put Podziemski over anyone else over here for the Warriors. Now, if they do start Saric there at that power forward position or possibly center and maybe bump everyone up into the line, I won't mind taking Saric as a definitely a value option, as long as he's not limited or anything like that. But everyone else over there, not messing with that too heavy. Now, if they do start as long as Draymond Green is starting in the center position, this should be a pretty easy game for Claxton to collect all of his fucking rebounds out there. No one is going to be able to stop that. Upside definitely there for Claxton. Over here on the other side for the Brooklyn Nets, I really, again, cannot endorse the shitters. I really can't. Every single time I try to, they go out here, they literally prove me dead ass wrong and are complete dog shit. So I'm not going to. If you want to play anything, all of them GPP options. Claxton, he does have the upside just because he will have the matchup going up against Draymond Green or Dario Saric. Definitely will be there for Claxton. Outside of that, Mikal Bridges, Spencer Dinwiddie, Cam Thomas, Cam Johnson, all these guys are GPP options. Cam Thomas, I will say he's been on a heater over his last couple games, scoring at a crazy clip. You can definitely mess with that here for Cam. You know what? This will probably be the game I game stack for the day. Golden State Warriors and Brooklyn Nets. This will probably be the game stack game for me on the day. But anyway, Cam Thomas, GPP option. He's been very hot, but microwave scorer. I'm worried that he's going to eventually cool off. Granted, the matchup going up against the Warriors, it is a good one for him to continue with the hot scoring that he has out here. I will just be very honest. Outside of the scoring, he's not doing too much, enough for me in this peripheral department. Because if he's not dropping you 25, close to 30 points, he's not going to get you there, especially at 6'6". That's the only thing I worry about with him. Toronto, like I said, back in them back-to-back, I have not too much interest in these guys. This is going to be a tough matchup going up against New Orleans Pelicans team, who play very good defense. And if they have all their starters, it should be a very rough game for the Raptors. All of them GPP options for me. I really do not have any interest here. If I had to take anyone, it would be Quickly, Barrett, or Jakopoto. That would be it that I would look to. Maybe you could look to some players off the bench like Grady Dick, who did get some minutes in. I will say Grady Dick is taller than I thought he was. Like, he's not even taller. He's bigger than I thought he was when I saw him play against Thunder. Didn't realize he was that big. But Grady Dick, Beauchard, McDaniel, like I can't. Coming off that back-to-back double overtime game, I just don't see it for them here, especially going up against the Pelicans, who are one of the top defenses in the league. Over on the Pelican side, if Zion is out, Herb Jones is out, then we already know what time it is. You could definitely go to Najee Marsh, Trey Murphy. Murphy should get the start. And then, of course, Jonas Valanciunas, if Zion is out, upside is there for him. Love Jonas if Zion is out. Again, if Zion is also out, then Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum, they also get a boost as well. But main guy I want to get to will be Jonas if Zion is out. If Zion is in, all the Pelicans, none of them are must plays for me at all. None of them stick out, pop out that I have to go ahead and play them on a slate. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys got something out of this video. I will be dropping my playable core. All those things will be dropped up on the Patreon. Check the link down in the description so you guys can check that out. And follow me on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I will also be posting my game stack up there for the day. That will be uploaded later on today. Hopefully you guys do have a good day. Let's start this week off with a bang and cash out. With it being said, your boys, though. Peace.